Being the best rookie of the season is a massive deal in the National Football League. But do you think even Jayden Daniels would have imagined being in the conversation of one of the best players of the season when the Washington Commanders drafted him? Well, every player starts out the season planning to be as good as they can, but it's fair to say that Jayden Daniels has knocked it out of the park with his start this season. His performance has been nothing short of exceptional and simply needs to be analyzed. So let's look at how on earth Jayden Daniels has made the best sport in the world look like a child's play by simply sticking to the basics. Accuracy, arm strength, reading the defense, pocket presence, and finally, decision making. When we talked about Jayden Daniels' accuracy, it's one of the standout features that's turning heads across the league. It's just a few games with the Washington Commanders, but Daniels has shown an impressive ability to deliver the ball exactly where it needs to be. Whether it's the short pass over the middle, threading the needle in tight coverage, or launching a deep ball down the sideline, his throws have been on point. One thing that separates Daniels from other quarterbacks is his precision under pressure. Even with the defenders in his face, he can maintain his composure and deliver accurate passes. A trait that's pretty common when it comes to the pinnacle of football, but not that common in a rookie who's only 5 games into his NFL career. That comes from his time at LSU, where he was consistently tested by some of the best defenses in all of college football. Now in the National Football League, he's carrying over that poise. When the pocket collapses or when he's forced to make a quick decision, he doesn't panic, he locks in, and he hits his target. And that's not it. His ball placement is also worth noting. He's not just throwing to receivers, he's putting the ball where only they can catch it. This is key in preventing interceptions and maximizing yardage after the catch. Because if the pass is just at a receiver, he would need to stop and catch it. Jayden's throws are perfectly ahead of the receiver's run so they can catch the ball without having to break their stride. It's a skill that's rarely seen in quarterbacks, let alone a rookie quarterbacks. Another aspect of his accuracy is how he adjusts his throws depending on the situation. If it's a red zone play, he's able to fire it into the tightest windows, giving his team a chance to score. And being able to fire it into the tight windows isn't just about accuracy, it takes quite a bit of arm strength, as he is able to ping the ball in a gap before it disappears. Moving on to his arm strength is another key factor that sets him apart as a young NFL quarterback. It's just a handful of games with Washington, but he's already demonstrated that he's not just a finesse player, he's got serious power behind his throws. Now, what makes his arm strength particularly impressive is how effortless it looks. He doesn't have to wind up or force the ball downfield. It's just a smooth, natural motion, and the ball just zips out of his hand. After seeing his arm move, you would imagine a smooth, looped ball, but as soon as the ball leaves his hand, it turns into a literal rocket. He's able to push the ball 50 to 60 yards downfield with ease, and when you combine that with his accuracy, it makes him a nightmare for opposing defenses. Because defenders can't just sit back, wait for the pass, and try to intercept it, because this guy's throws get there in a hurry. Having a strong arm isn't just good for passing, it plays a massive role in the team's tactics and forces the opponent's defense to give the quarterback some respect. Jayden's arm strength opens up the field. Defenses have to respect his deep ball, which forces them to play deep, leaving spaces in front for pockets for him to throw as well. This also creates opportunities for shorter throws and allows Daniels to take advantage of the defensive lapses. Even when it looks like there's no play to be made, he can fire the ball into the tightest of windows, hitting receivers with only a split second to get open. These attributes are the reason he's a Heisman winner from his college football days, and not only that, he's now the first player in NFL history to pass for at least 1,000 yards and rush for 250 in his first 5 games. That's an amazing achievement for a rookie quarterback. His arm is definitely one of his biggest assets, and it's helping him establish himself as a rising star in the National Football League, but it's not his only asset. If it was all about the arm, there would be loads of players like Jayden Daniels. Physical attributes aside, the modern game is played in the mind rather than on the field. And that includes reading defenses and knowing where the space is going to be even before it's there. His ability to read defenses is one of the most critical aspects of his game, and it's what truly sets great quarterbacks apart from the rest. We're only a few games in, but Daniels has been demonstrating a knack for diagnosing defensive schemes quickly since his college days at LSU and Arizona State. What stands out is how he handles pre-snap reads. Daniels just doesn't line up and wait for the play to unfold. He's actively scanning the field, identifying coverages, and making adjustments before the ball is even snapped. The level of awareness is rare for a rookie, but Daniels brings it with his college experience at Arizona State and LSU, respectively, when he's faced some of the most complex defensive schemes in the country. Don't get me wrong, the level at college football was nowhere near the National Football League, but his experience has definitely taught him quite a few things. Whether it's recognizing a blitz or spotting a safety creeping into the box, Daniels is quick to react and adjust his game plan accordingly. He's on it before the play even starts, and once it does, his ability to process information in real time is impressive. Like all quarterbacks, he has a rehearsed play in his mind, but that doesn't mean he's locked in on that one planned receiver, because he reads through his progression swiftly and decides on the best option depending on the field and doesn't rely on his rehearsed play. If his first option is covered, he's already moving on to the second or third, and that's something he keeps defenses on their heels because more often than not, there's at least one player who gets open. What makes him even more dangerous is that he doesn't get flustered when the defense tries to disguise their coverage either. He has shown the ability to stay calm, be patient, and seems to always find that open. But it doesn't always work out. There are instances where he can't find a good runner to throw to, and the tiny gaps are just too tiny to take them on. Well, that's where this next aspect of his game comes in. Jayden Daniels' pocket presence is one of the most exciting elements of his game, especially when you consider how quickly he adjusted to the NFL level. It's not just about standing tall and delivering the pass, it's his ability to sense pressure, evade defenders, and make game-changing throws that makes him special. What really sets Daniels apart is his awareness. He seems to have an instinct for feeling pressure before he even gets close. Even when the pocket starts to collapse, he doesn't panic. His eyes stay downfield, and instead of trying to force a throw or scramble prematurely, he calmly slides within the pocket to buy himself more time. The ability to navigate the chaos around him while maintaining focus on his receivers is a trait you only ever see in elite and experienced quarterbacks, and Daniels is showing that early in his career. There is his mobility as well, which adds another layer to his pocket presence. They say a quarterback should have the ability to run when he needs to, but extending the play to make sure you absolutely need to run before doing it is always a good thing. He's got an incredible ability to roll out of the pocket, dodge oncoming defenders, and still keeps his eyes locked on targets downfield. His athleticism allows him to turn broken plays into big gains, not by relying on his legs to run, but by staying patient and waiting for the perfect moment to strike with his arm. The ability to stay poised and deliver a killer pass under duress is a huge reason why defenses struggle to contain him throughout the first 5 games of his career. Even when they manage to get pressure on him, he evades defenders and makes a play, makes it difficult to bring him down or disrupt his focus. Sometimes the ability to extend plays turns out to be the only reason the pass is there at all because the defense can only cover off spaces for so long until the wide receiver outruns his defender, leaving Jayden to simply go along and get the runner in behind. And if rehearsed plays, tight gaps, extended plays, long wide throws, and all else fails, Daniels puts his head down and just runs straight at the oncoming defense. Every quarterback is expected to be able to run with it, and almost everyone in the NFL can. But it's only effective in very specific moments, and it's up to the quarterback's decision-making to run at the perfect time. Jayden Daniels' decision-making is what ties together all the other aspects of his game, and is a major reason why he's already making a huge impact in the National Football League. For a rookie quarterback, he shows an exceptional ability to make the right choices at the right time, whether it's deciding when to pass, when to scramble, or when to throw the ball away. First and foremost, his decision-making in the passing game is sharp. Daniels just doesn't fire the ball recklessly or force it into coverage. Instead, he's patient, reading through his progressions and waiting for the right opportunity to present itself. There's also where his ability to extend the play in the pocket comes in handy. His patience and maturity in the pocket are rare for a player so early in his career. His decision making on when to run is another key part of his game. Daniels is a dual threat quarterback, but he's not one to rely too heavily on his legs. He picks his moments carefully, only running when the defense gives him an opening. It's a crucial balance to strike, especially in today's NFL, where quarterbacks who run too much can put themselves at risk of injury. It's extra risky with an arm like his because no team would want their quarterback to get injured, especially if he has an arm like Jayden Daniels. But even though it's a risk, Daniels knows when to take off and when to stay in the pocket and extend the play with his arm. The Commanders' offense is thriving with him at the helm. They are the top in the NFC East, and he is the reason why.